help get some ideas about writing a speech, I did what I'm sure what most best men do in this situation these days. I had a look on the internet and I opted to follow the tried and tested path I've used throughout my life. Have a look in Google and steal other people's work. And I found some really good stuff about where the term best man comes from. The term best man dates back to the times when Scotsmen kidnapped their future brides away from disapproving parents, and the friend of the groom who helped out the most during the abduction was acclaimed to be the best man. Having met Samantha's two brothers and seen the size of them, I'm glad we moved on a bit. Like most brothers, we've always had a fair share of sibling rivalry. We always used to try to beat each other up, always tried to get each other into trouble, but nothing that two lawyers and a judge couldn't sort out. I remember back to times when a petty argument would arise from nowhere. Colin would call me smelly and I'd call him stupid, and then it would spiral out of all proportions and we'd end up each running back home in tears. But sure enough, the next day, Colin would drop an email from work and we'd make up. Becoming a best man has not exactly been easy. To be fair to Colin, he did not have an easy task in picking a best man. The competition was fierce. First he asked his most handsome friend, and he said no. Then next was his most intelligent friend. Again, the answer was no. Getting disheartened, he asked his most trusted friend. For the third time it was no. Then he called me, and I said, Colin, it would be cruel to say no for a fourth time. Colin was born in 1978, and I had a quick look at the internet to see what other events took place that year. 1978 was the year that the Smurfs appeared on the TV for the first time. It was also the year that the films Superman and Grease were released, and also the world's first ever arcade video game, Space Invaders, was launched. But the main event of 1978 was the birth of the world's first test tube baby. Isn't you looking well, ladies and gentlemen? Also, BGs continued to dominate the charts thanks to their soundtracks to the previous year's Saturday Night Fever, and Rod Stewart asked, "Do you think I'm sexy?" Now, this won't seem particularly relevant until you've seen them take to the dance floor as your first dance this evening. Being serious for a moment, there are a few pieces of housekeeping that we need to get out of the way before I move on to a few quick stories about Colin. On behalf of the bride and groom, I'd again like to say thank you for everyone here for being part of their day. May I also say how lovely Zoe, the bridesmaid, and Zara and Aoife, the flower girls look. Zoe, you have successfully managed to keep Samantha calm despite the very challenging circumstances of marrying Colin. Also, a big thank you to Max, who did a terrific job as page boy. Special thanks to Leslie and Roderick also comes from our parents Sid and Sandra, who are very grateful for now being able to share the responsibility of having Colin as a son. I wish you the best of luck. My first toast of the evening is to absent friends, especially to our grandparents, who I'm sure are looking down on us today with big smiles on their faces. Would you all please raise your glasses in a toast to absent friends? There were some people who couldn't make it here today, such as Colin's cousin Craig, partner Gail, who sent their congratulations. There's one other person who wasn't actually asked to the wedding, and I'm not sure Colin ever wanted Samantha to know about this person. Samantha, it's all a bit late to tell you after this after you've officially married Colin, but here goes. This person was Colin's companion pretty much up until he met Samantha. This person went on holiday with Colin, even shared a bed with Colin throughout his teenage years and into adulthood. This person did absolutely everything with him, and this person is really struggling to hold it all together today. I'm pleased to say I've managed to get this person here safely. Everyone, I'm sure you're all desperate to know who this is.
Be careful!
Samantha, meet Sonny, Colin's favourite childhood and adulthood pal. Just to put in a picture about Sonny, I did my brotherly duty by collecting Sonny from Glasgow Airport security because at 35, Colin was too embarrassed to collect him from his last holiday security set before meeting Samantha. Traditionally in this speech, the best man would tell all kinds of amazing stories about the groom. Stories about the adventures they've had and the trouble that they've gotten into. I'm not going to do that for 3 reasons. Firstly, we're in a room full of very hungry people and we're not allowed to stay until 1 o'clock. Telling the stories about Colin, that would get us to about the age of 16. Second reason is that the goal of telling these stories is usually to embarrass the groom in front of his friends and family. Allow me to assure everyone here that Colin is more than capable of embarrassing himself and he's much better at it than I could ever be. And thirdly, most of these stories probably implicate me, and I've always tried to play the innocent card. But not to disappoint the crowd too much, I will share a few stories about the boy and man we have before us. As a child, Colin was always leading his younger brother astray. From the time we were up at the local burn and I fell in, and he told me to tell my parents that I'd just fallen in a puddle, to the time when our parents went out one weekend and left an empty house, which was to be invaded by his whole year group from school. Mum and Dad, I don't think you ever really found out about the French polisher and the glass light shade that Colin had.
There was 90 people in the house that night.
Plus the hole in my bedroom door, which I was supposed to tell you I had accidentally made, but that wasn't my fault, by the way. It was also the time when we decided to get matching haircuts. We were about 12 and 9 years old at the time, and we were left with a grand to go for holiday haircuts. But yet, being the younger brother and eager to copy the trends that my older brother followed, on this occasion Colin convinced me we should tell our gran that the barber always knew what haircut we got, and that there was no need for her to come up to the chair with us. Needless to say, we both asked for a number 1 haircut all over. We're both still lucky. We're both lucky to be alive today, but after our mum collected us, as was our gran. Little did he know, I would be the one setting the trends today.